Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Middlesex County Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you were here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. This is one of many college presentations being offered today, so feel free to check the schedule on the website for more. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded, including this one, and will be available at strivescan.com/Middlesex. My name is Catherine, and I will be your facilitator for this session. We are currently in session A1, where my mouse is circling at the moment, and this is also the same order of presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way, and we are going to kick it off to our very first representative from the University College Dublin.
All right, just share my screen. So hello everybody, my name is Patrick Smith with University College Dublin, and I'm based here in Boston, Massachusetts. So first off, just talking a little bit about Ireland and Dublin. Ireland's a small island nation in Western Europe, around 5 million people altogether. And it's the only predominantly English-speaking country within the European Union. So very globally connected, very multicultural country altogether, with very close linkages, obviously with Europe, but also with the United States as well. It's a very small country, so you can actually drive from one side of the island to the other in around 2.5 to 3 hours. So you have a lot of, as you can see here, beautiful landscapes, great coastline, vibrant cities, all in a pretty compact area altogether. And Dublin, Ireland would actually be the capital city, so around 1.5 million people altogether, but a great place to be as a young person. There's 4 major universities there, so a lot of international students, a lot of young people, just a really fun, vibrant, dynamic capital city to be in as a student. University College Dublin would be Ireland's largest university. We have around 29 to 30,000 students altogether. And of those, around 19,000 students would be undergrad. It is a very strong academic institution as well. So we'd be in the top 200 universities worldwide. So that'd put us in the top 1% of universities worldwide. As you can see in the photo here, it is a very suburban style campus. So we're located around 20 minutes just south of Dublin city center by bus. But, it's very close linkages with public transport, so you can get to the city really easily, but you kind of have everything you need, from the student center to on-campus housing to kind of the traditional quad space, all in your dedicated campus environment. So talking about a really important part, where you're going to be living when you're on campus, we do have on-campus residence halls for up to 4,000 students. And these are some of the buildings that actually were just opened in the past 2 months. So just hot off the presses right there. But no matter which building you're living in on campus, every student has their own bedroom. So it's all apartment style. So you're going to be sharing with sometimes 4, sometimes 5 different flatmates, but then with a shared kitchen and living area as well. But all these buildings are around 5 to 10 minutes away from the nearest academic building. So you're very well centrally located on campus. Very safe and secure environment as well. So the resident assistants plan a lot of events to get you to know your flatmates, know campus, but also get to know Dublin as well. And we do seek to guarantee housing for all incoming first-year international students as well. And then also, being the largest university, there's a lot going on campus. So this is our student center right here with the Olympic-sized swimming pool and debating chamber and cinema, black box theater. There's over 130 different clubs and societies on campus. So it's almost hard to not get involved. There's so much going on. When I was a student there, I was president of the dance society. So I definitely recommend getting involved, getting your name out there and meeting as many people as possible, especially as an international student. It's really the best way to feel at home. In terms of academics, so we offer over 70 different undergraduate honors bachelor's degrees. And really a kind of a big difference between education in Ireland versus in the States is we offer what we call direct entry degrees. So if you know what you want to study, you come in from day one and you start studying architecture or business or engineering, and around 90% of your course overall is going to be within that field of study. But if you're a little bit like how I was as a student, you didn't really know exactly what you wanted to study, we do have something called the Liberal Arts and Sciences program, which is almost like coming in undecided, where you can kind of pick and choose a few different subject areas. And then at the end of your first year or your second year, you can declare your major. So whether you know what you want to study or kind of want to be a little bit more flexible, we offer both entry pathways for students. Finally, just in terms of kind of the logistics, so applications are open now. We do have a direct application to UCD, as well as we are on the Common App. All of our admissions are based on academics, so looking at your GPA and your test scores. So we don't look at letters of reference or your essays, so don't worry about those at all. But students can apply to up to 4 different programs or 4 different majors. And again, you're applying to direct programs. So you can kind of pick and choose a few different subject areas that you like the most. Really, the only deadline we have is our priority deadline of December 1st. And that's if you want to be considered for our larger 50% and 100% scholarships. We do offer, or we do accept US federal aid as well through the FAFSA. And it's also important to note that around 70% of our students are coming in with some kind of academic merit award. So typically tuition would be around $23,000 US dollars, but we do have some partial scholarships up to 25%, as well as those larger 50% and full 100% scholarships. So it's a really cost-effective way of studying abroad. And more US students are now on campus with us in UCD. So it's a really great way to get to know Europe, get to know Ireland, and just have a really fun time all together. So if you want any more information, you can just scan the QR code there. And thanks again for attending.
Awesome, thank you. The next representative is from University of East London.
Cheers, Catherine. All right, let me just share this. Easy, you guys should be able to see that now. I don't think it's gone to dual screen share, but you can see the idea, can't you? I don't know why it's done that. But anyway, guys, my name is Tom. I'm from the University of East London. I'm the Americas Recruitment Officer there. So if you do apply, chances are you'll get in touch with me. There's also a colleague I've got called Caitlin, so you might get in touch with her as well. So why come study in London? I mean, I live in London. I love London.
Thing. Do you want to go to display settings at the top and then
easy. Display
it's
settings.
Right there in the middle. Yep, there you go.
Oh, Catherine's a professional. She's done this before, hasn't she? Cheers, Catherine. Thank you. Yeah, so why study in London? Yeah, I love London, guys. I live in London. I've lived here for about 5 years, and it's just one of those cities where you just can't run out of things to do. No matter your likes or dislikes or whatever, there's always something for you. You can see there's about 300 languages spoken in London, which is a massive amount of diversity here, so you can get food from all over the world. There's about 1,000 registered museums and galleries in London, and most of those are free as well, so that gives you like free things to do at the weekend. There's like 3 major airports here, great for when you're arriving from the US, but also if you want to travel around Europe, and you can generally get cheap flights to like places like Spain and Greece and stuff like that. If you like sports, there's like some of the biggest teams in the world here, like Chelsea and Tottenham in the Premier League. Got a picture of Wimbledon there if you want to go see the tennis. You can go to see Raducanu. She won the US Open recently. And obviously the picture there is National Gallery, but you guys will know London, you've seen it in films. It's an incredible place to come and see. One of the other big selling points of coming to London is this isn't a UEL specific thing, but when you're over in the UK on your visa, if you're trying to get an extra bit of pocket money or an internship or anything like that, during your visa, you can work for 20 hours a week during term time and 40 hours a week outside of term time. So that's really good. They can take advantage of the fact you're in London, and most major businesses operate outside of London or have offices here. So this gives you guys great opportunities for internships and work. You can see there as well, after you graduate, There's a 2-year graduate visa you can get. You don't have to have a job set up or anything for that. You don't have to get sponsored. That's just something you can add on your visa after you've graduated. There's a picture of our campus there, guys. So you can see that circle bit in the middle there where the road is. That's tube station. So we've got a tube station on our campus. So tube, that's like the London Underground, the metro system that connects all of London up. And that's how people really generally get around the city. It's really great for getting all over to the airports, into Central, and obviously to our campus. As you can see, it's quite residential. There's quite a lot of houses and trees around there. It's really nice and peaceful. With the river there, that's the River Thames. You've probably seen that on pictures before. That's what goes under like Tower Bridge, like that famous bridge that you see where it comes up in the middle. And just by the edge of there, we've got like the cylinder sort of buildings that are colourful, like blue and yellow. That's the accommodation. So we've got on-site accommodation, which is quite unusual in London and we're really lucky to have. But yeah, this is our main campus. So this is our Docklands campus. We've also got a Stratford campus and then like a mini Stratford campus. So we've got 3 campuses. So why University of East London in particular? So we've been around since 1898. Like I said, London's got a big diversity, but we also do on campus as well. We've got 17,000 students. 20% of those are international. Ranked first in the UK for international support and visa advice. That's great for you guys because you want to make it as easy as possible when you're applying to come over. And also we accept FAST. So we also accept Sally Mae. We just put that on there because that's the main one. So if you want to bring any federal aid over from the US, we can accept that too. We're like quite a careers focused university, like I was saying earlier, like drawing attention to the visa perks. We've got careers passports. So basically just means we're giving out mental wealth modules. So you do that as part of your course. They're bespoke to each degree. So obviously if you're doing like law or you're doing some sort of physical education course, they're very different the way that you're going to go into the job market. So they try and like build it and tailor it to those courses, but you can learn about things like cognitive intelligence, developing cultural, emotional and social intelligence and digital proficiency. We do have access to Amazon Web Services. And again, that gives you great access to like fast track opportunities on jobs and internships. So why come to us? A bit like Patrick was saying earlier, in the UK, it's generally a 3-year degree. So you're going to graduate sooner and faster, and it's going to save you time and money, get you on the jobs ladder quicker. You can do international scholarships for UEL. They're between £1,000 and £4,000 available. First year tuition, that's around $19,000. So that's about $8,000 to $24,000 cheaper than in the US. And applications are open now. They'll be open until July 2022 if you want to apply, and you should receive a decision in about 2 to 4 weeks. These are some of the schools we've got, guys, and our most popular courses. For one advice, just going on the website and just search on there and looking for what interests you. The website's in the corner, so www.uel.ac.uk. Just go on there. They've got a great search function. So you can search by course name, or you can search by like keywords to do with the course. Just makes it easier to find things you're interested in. Sports really key. UEL, we're really big on that. We had Team USA come and train with us at the 2012 Olympics. We're really proud to have that. They chose to come and train with us just because of our facilities. We do offer sports scholarships, and we've got partnerships with professional teams like West Ham United in the Premier League. So if you're doing one of our sports courses, you can link up with them. Just a little view of our accommodation there, guys. So you've got a room there and a little kitchen. All our accommodation has private rooms, so it's not like in the US where it's like shared rooms. Private rooms, private bathrooms. Price is about $8,000 a year, and you share the kitchen between about 3 and 5 people, so you can cook all your own meals in there, get a bit of independency. We've got a supermarket, a massive supermarket called Asda, really close to the campus. So really good for getting your food. We're also doing like cooking courses throughout Freshers Week to get you guys getting really nice food for really cheap. Entry requirements, 3.0 GPA minimum, SAT 1070 minimum, ACT 23, or 3 AP scores of 3 or above. We do maybe have some extra things like maybe interviews and stuff like a drama subject, but they'll be said that on the course thing. Anyway, how do you apply? Common App, through our website, UCAS. If you've got any questions, get in touch, but I'll put my email in the chat. Cheers, guys.
Great, thank you. So much helpful information. Just a
helpful
friendly
information from you, Catherine. Cheers for the help.
Yeah, awesome. Just a friendly reminder, if anyone has any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen. Any questions at all regarding college application process, or even if you have any questions for any of our representatives, we encourage you to include the school name. The next representative is from University of East Anglia.
Cool, thank you very much. Right, I'm just going to quickly share a presentation with you one moment. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining today. So my name is Graham Wise. I'm an international officer working for UEA. So UEA is a campus-based university located in the city of Norwich in the east of the UK. UEA is home to just over 16,000 students, of which around 4,000 are international students from about 100 different countries. So it's a very multicultural, very diverse, and ultimately it's a very welcoming university to students from all over the world. Just to highlight a few of our key achievements here at UEA. So UEA is a very highly ranked university, not just in the UK, but also internationally as well. As you can see here, we're ranked in the top 25 in the Times and Sunday Times higher education rankings, and also in the top 200 in the higher education world university rankings. So a good recognition that a degree at UEA goes a really long way, not just in the UK, but also internationally as well. UEA is also ranked gold for the Teaching Excellence Framework, which was a UK government initiative to assess the quality of teaching at UK universities. And we're one of around 20 universities to achieve this award. So a really good recognition of the excellent teaching that goes on at UEA. So this is our campus here. So as I mentioned at the start of the presentation, we are a campus-based university. So what that means is that all of our facilities are located on this one site, including our accommodation, which is actually guaranteed for international students and students in the US in their first year of studying here at UEA. And we have lots of accommodation options located on the campus, off the campus, and in the city of Norwich as well. So the campus itself is very self-contained. We have all the facilities and amenities you need, and we have over 15 different catering outlets on our campus offering a wide variety of different cuisines. We have a sports park, as you can see here, where lots of indoor and outdoor sports you can take part in. And we have a very active student union in the centre of our campus, which is home to over 200 different clubs and societies. We also have a medical centre and dentist. So pretty much everything you need on a campus is here at UEA. So where we're located, that's in the city of Norwich. You may not know Norwich, but that's fine. So we are in the east of the UK. As you can see on the map here, about an hour and a half to 2 hours to London by train. We also have an international airport in Norwich, so it's a very well-connected city to the rest of the world, and obviously to the UK as well. Where we're located, we're very lucky to be close to the beach. The closest beach is about a 40-minute drive away. So we're a coastal city with lots of great beautiful scenery, and the city itself is really popular with our students. It's often seen as the blend of the old and the new, the best of both worlds. It has its kind of historical castles and cathedrals, as you can see in the images here, but it also has its brand new modern amenities like shopping centres, cinemas, restaurants, cafes, bars, all that kind of stuff as well. So undergraduate programs at UEA, just to touch on very briefly, and like with most programs in the UK, will be 3 years in length. They can be longer if you selected the option to do a year abroad or a placement year option, and lots of our degrees do offer those alternatives. With our programs, they're often very highly flexible, not as flexible as they are in the US, but they are flexible to a degree to allow you to kind of tailor the degree to your own area of interest by selecting different modules, particularly in your second and third years. It's also cost effective studying at UEA. You can see the prices listed here. And at UEA, we're best known for our programs within literature and creative writing, international development, and environmental sciences. We do have a wide variety of other programs here at UEA that you can study. So just to quickly touch on some of our key entry requirements here. So at undergraduate level, we accept a wide variety of different exams and tests and scores. So we look, if students have done IBs or A levels, then we definitely accept these. Also, more generally speaking to the US, students who have the US high school diploma with 3 AP exams or equivalent SAT or an ACT score, we will also consider as well. It can vary depending on which subject you take. So it's definitely best to have a look at our website if you were thinking of applying for the specific requirements. It is important to know that some subjects, like the science-based subjects, will require a background within that science when you do apply. So it's good if you've got an AP in chemistry if you want to apply to chemistry, for example. All of our applications are made on UCAS, a really simple application tool to make, like most universities here today. And with your application, you will be required to write a personal statement and submit an academic reference. And some courses, particularly our health science courses, will require you to take part in an interview as well. So just want to touch on a few bits of further information before we finish today. So we do have lots of generous scholarships for students from the US, and we'll have guaranteed awards and also application-based awards to really upgrade your offer. So they can range from around £4,000 to £8,000 as a tuition fee discount. So definitely important to look out for those when you are applying. Accommodation ranges from around £80 to £160 per week on our campus, and there's a real wide variety of options of accommodation on the campus, a short walk from the campus, or in the city centre of Norwich as well. We're quite a young university. We're only founded in the 60s, but we are a really fast growing university. And like I said, you see at the bottom here, we are FAFSA accredited, so we do accept students who apply to the FAFSA loans as well. Just to quickly highlight one of my favourite facilities we have on our campus, we have the Sainsbury Centre of Visual Arts, which is an art gallery located at the foot of our campus. It's free to enter for students, and we have exhibitions from all over the world. You may recognise the Sainsbury Centre because it also doubles up as the Avengers headquarters. So we had the Avengers filming on our campus quite a few years ago now, but hopefully they'll be returning again soon. But it's just a good recognition that you know, at UEA there's always something different going on, always something taking place, and yeah, it's a pleasant place to live and to study. But that's all from me. So if you did have any questions, so please feel free to post those in the chat, and my email address is here as well if you did want to reach out to me at a later date as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. The next representative is from St. Mary's University, London.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Bill. I'm from St. Mary's University, which is based in southwest London. I'm a Londoner myself, so I was born and raised in the area as well, but don't hold that against me. So chatting about the university, this is a sort of a bird's eye view of the university. We're a campus university. We're around 5,500 students, so very small in comparison to some universities, but we still do all have our facilities on site as well, including accommodation and things like that. So obviously being a London university is a great sort of thing to have in our sort of back pocket to talk about, because you're in the sort of one of the most exciting cities in Europe to live, work and study and play in as well. We're around 35 minutes from sort of the bit of central London that you might know as well, sort of, you know, sort of near the sort of Houses of Parliament where all those people claim to do work, and about sort of half an hour from the biggest airport in the country as well. So it's very easy and very well connected to get around if you come and study at St. Mary's. This is a bigger map of London, as in sort of the roads. It's, you know, interesting for people that like roads, but you can sort of see our location in southwest London there. So moving on, these are some lovely pictures we've got of the university here. On the top left, you've got one of our student sport areas as well. And we do punch above our weight when it comes to sport as a university. It's one of the things that we like to shout about. But as you can see, we've got kind of an old meets new kind of style of university. You've got Strawberry Hill House there on the top right, which is a nice kind of sort of early sort of, you know, turn of the century building. And it's a sort of a great sort of place where people sort of lecture and people actually come and visit that as well on our campus. So moving on, and my computer has decided to be silly, but now it's back. So we are top 5 for student experience in the most recent Sunday Times Good University Guide. So that's brilliant. So you're going to have a great time with us here. We're a top in London for sport as well. And I will talk a bit about sport when it comes to programs later. These are some of our sports partnerships that we have. I've heard Chelsea already mentioned today. So we do actually have we run a degree on behalf of Chelsea Football Club Foundation as well. So a Premiership football team. But these are some of the other partnerships and placements that we offer in some of the programs at the university. And you can see Stamford Bridge Stadium in the background where the Blues do play. So we've got over 50 student clubs and societies at the university run by the student union. So there's going to be lots of things that you can do when you come and study with us on the side of your degree. Now, moving on, these are some of the programs that we have within the business school. We've got international business management, sports management. That's a sort of an ever-present kind of thing. BA acting has been very popular with our North American students, so do feel free to apply for that one. We've also got creative writing, some technical theatre on there. So we've got a great mix of programs that you might be interested in. Moving on to the humanities, which is very popular with our North American students. You've got English literature, history, law with criminology. Might not be sort of your usual sort of things that you you might expect, but we also do offer the liberal arts degree as well. We also do have a 2-year liberal arts accelerated degree, so you can get your bachelor's in 2 years if you wanted to, which is great. Same amount of credits. So sport and health. So these are some of the programs that we offer in sport and health. And we also do offer physiotherapy at the undergraduate route as well, which is quite a good option. So you don't have to do sort of your pre-med and all that kind of stuff. You know, some of the sort of biological sciences, you can come straight in and do physiotherapy. Strength and conditioning is a very popular thing at the university. We offer that all the way through, all the way up to PhD level, and it's a very popular program, and it's kind of sort of London leading in the way it's sort of managed. Education, that's what we were founded upon back in 1850. And when I say 1850, I don't mean 10 to 7 in the evening. We've been around for over 171 years. So the fees, I've just checked these fees, we're around $18,500 per year. We also obviously do accept FAFSA, federal loans, all of that kind of stuff. Sally May as well. There are scholarships that can make that cheaper. And please do remember that in England, the degrees are generally 3 years long. If you do go up across the border to Scotland, they might be 4 years long. So do have a little look at the sort of prices that we've got there. We do offer a direct application, which is free of charge. You can apply via UCAS as well, and you can also apply via a Common App, free of charge as well. So university accommodation, we've got guaranteed accommodation for undergraduate students, and at the university we do offer meal plans. So in your accommodation price, breakfast and dinner is also included, so you can enjoy the university's lovely catering facilities. So these are the prices of the university. We do actually have some twin rooms, but they're very limited. But generally, students from North America choose to apply for the en-suites and private bathrooms and that kind of stuff. So you don't have to meet anyone if you don't want to. These are some pictures of the local areas. You've got Hampton Court Palace, which is just down the road from the university. That's where King Henry VIII beheaded quite a few people. You've got Richmond Park as well on our doorstep, and obviously the beautiful River Thames. These are some lovely other photos of London. So London will become your playground. So the university is top 5 for student experience, and by the most recent Sunday Times Good University Guide. We've got work placements in the programs. You've got guaranteed accommodation. You've got small, diverse classes, and affordable fees is one thing to take away. And these are my contact details. Feel free to get in touch. Do follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm sure we've got a TikTok, but please stay in touch. Bye-bye.
Awesome, thank you. Just another friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button. Our representatives are here and available to assist. Our last representative, but certainly not least, is from the University of Essex.
Thanks, Catherine. Sorry, one sec, let me start the presentation. Hopefully you can see that. Thanks everyone for joining. My name is Emma and I work in the international team specifically for North America at the University of Essex. So I would be your first point of contact if you had any questions about studying at the university or just more generally about studying in the UK. So this first slide, actually a lot of the points have already been covered by previous presenters, but I'll quickly run through them just in case we had any people join us a little bit later. So why England? You're in a group with mostly universities from the UK, so you might be familiar with these points, but most of our degrees in England are 3 years. There are some exceptions, but certainly the vast majority are 3 years in length. I always say that the higher education model in the UK is perfect for those students that know what it is that they want to major in, because they will be studying that subject from the very first day. As mentioned by lots of universities just a moment ago, our fees are very competitive, particularly if you're comparing to out-of-state tuition. So obviously it's going to vary from institution to institution and from course to course. Lots of us will offer some fantastic international scholarships, and lots of us will be FAFSA accredited as well. UCAS, the application portal, has also already been mentioned, so I won't go into that into too much detail. And I know that the student route visa as well has been mentioned, the fact that you can get part-time work on or off campus, which is really great if you're wanting to earn a little bit of money whilst you're studying. And if you do come and study in the UK and you're having a really great experience and you want to stay, then you can do so with our new post-study work visa. You're able to stay in the UK and look for work for 2 years. So the next few slides are all about the University of Essex. We have 3 campuses. They are all located in Essex, in Colchester, Southend and Loughton. So Colchester is the largest of our 3 campuses, where most of our courses are taught and most of our students study. It sits on 200 acres of beautiful award-winning parkland. We are within really easy access or easy reach of London, less than an hour by train, which in my opinion is the perfect distance. We're close enough if you want to get into the city, but we're far enough away so you do really notice a difference in sort of London in living costs. Fun fact about Colchester is that it was the UK's, or is the UK's oldest recorded town and was the first recorded capital city. We're not really known for our glorious weather in the UK, but down there in the southeast in Essex, we do have some of the UK's best weather. And something I love about our location is we're on the coast, as you can see. So there's beaches that are close by, we're close to the city, and we're surrounded by some beautiful towns and lovely villages, and of course, the Essex countryside. So a little bit about our sort of academic teaching. Essex is a dual intensive university, which means we place as much importance on our research as we do our teaching. And we're a university that's really recognised for the quality of our research. Subjects that we're really well known for are mainly our social sciences, so subjects like politics, international relations, sociology, economics, human rights. These are subjects we're consistently well ranked for. And something I love about our approach to teaching is the fact it's really, really interdisciplinary. So you can study a subject in particularly one of our social sciences or arts and humanities faculties, but you'll be able to pick different classes across different departments, across different faculties, to really shape the degree around your interests and what's important to you. So a little bit about student life at the University of Essex. We've got over 160 different sports clubs and societies, so there's definitely something for everyone. Our Colchester campus is a really large, vibrant, welcoming, international campus community with some amazing facilities on campus for students to enjoy. So a few examples are our theatres, our cinema. We have some amazing sports facilities as well, which include some really fantastic basketball and volleyball facilities, as well as a climbing wall. There's all sorts of tennis courts, squash courts, indoor pitches, outdoor pitches. So if you are sporty, then you'll definitely enjoy the facilities that Essex has to offer. But if you're not sporty and you just want to get involved, then that would also be really, really encouraged. And there is over 20 different hospitality outlets on campus. So restaurants, bars, cafes. So there's some great social spaces for students to enjoy as well. We guarantee on-campus accommodation, so students typically live on campus for their first year and then move off campus in their second and final year. And we're also recognised for the fact that we're pumping money back into our campuses on facilities for students to enjoy. It's really cost effective to study at Essex. As I mentioned, most of our degrees are 3 years, so that's already 1 whole year's worth of fees you wouldn't have to pay. You could, in theory, do a 3-year undergraduate degree and your 1-year master's in the same amount of time that it would take you to do your 4 years undergraduate degree in the US. Our fees are really competitive. So for this academic year, international students are paying just under 17 to just under £20,000 per academic year. So that in dollars, that's somewhere between 21 to 25,000 approximately. And we have some really generous scholarships available for students as well. So our America's Regional Scholarship is worth £5,000 towards your tuition. We also offer a number of sports scholarships as well. These are assessed on a case-by-case basis. If you're a really talented athlete, then it's definitely worth looking into those sports scholarships that are available. And we're also FAFSA accredited. So at Essex, we do place an enormous amount of importance on employability. I always encourage students to think about doing a placement year if you're particularly career orientated. We have employability modules built into our degrees, and we have a skills for success team to help with writing your CV and getting you prepared for interviews as well. We also have a couple of initiatives, including our Languages for All and our Data Science for All programme too. Hopefully I've got a couple of seconds just to tell you about my favourite thing about Essex, just how international the university is. We're ranked 4th in the UK for international outlook. That's not just our students, it's our staff as well, and it's also reflected in our curriculum. About 40% of our students are from outside the UK, so it's an amazing opportunity to study, live, work, make lifelong friends with people from all over the world. So that's me done, just about in time. There's my contact details. If you've got any questions, I'll pop them in the chat now as well. Please don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks for listening.
Great, thank you. And what a great way to end. So much helpful information from all our representatives about each school. So at this point, we do have some time left, and we're going to go ahead and pivot now into our Q&A portion of the session. I invite all our representatives to go ahead and turn on their cameras, to get ready to unmute themselves, and get ready for our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented in.
Yeah, I'd definitely say connect with current students. So whether you're looking, internationally at any of our universities or even domestically, I think, hearing that kind of authentic student voice is probably the most helpful, not only just talking about academics and, hey, what do I study or what classes are great, but also, what do students do for fun on weekends, or what's it like, declaring your major, or, just kind of some things that, we all get paid to do this, but, if you're trying to find that real kind of authentic voice of someone who's going through the process, who's maybe a year or two older than you, I would definitely say connect with a student and really pick their brains about the pros and cons of their college experience.
Easy, guys. Well, I'd just say, yeah, just because I've had previous experience of my mates doing it in the past, like, don't kind of fall into the path of trying to follow your friends into what they're doing. Just make it your own journey. Like, you're not going to remember following your friends to university when you get like a career in 5 years' time. So just try and focus on what you're doing. Like, do the research, like Patrick was saying, like, ask people, like local students. You can do a lot of that on a lot of people's websites, like ask questions and stuff, or you can get in touch with us guys and ask questions. Just make it about you and what you want to do. Like, don't get drafted direction by some other people, and make sure it's what you want to do.
I'd say make sure you research not just the subject you're applying to, but also the city and the campus. It's going to vary your experience if you're at a campus-based university to a city-based university. So, research the area where you'll be living, because that's going to have a huge impact on how well you do in your degree and how much you enjoy your time here. If you're somewhere you feel comfortable and you feel at home at, make a massive difference. So yeah, and don't just focus entirely on the academics, also focus on the area that's right for you and the campus as well. Is it the right campus for you as well?
So I would say, obviously, keep an open mind. You're going to have loads of universities bombard you with information. Sign up to their mailing, sign up to everything, and just keep your options open. Don't sort of get rid of something because you're like, well, I don't feel comfortable, blah, blah, blah. Just, say yes over the next sort of few months and years to sort of 2 presentations, 2 things like this. And just, you might end up, in London, you might end up, somewhere else in the UK studying, but, just keep an open mind, I would say.
Patrick's on my number 1 piece of advice, which is to speak to students as much as you can, because ultimately they're going through what you hope to be going through, so they are the best people to speak to. So my second piece of advice would probably be to take advantage of virtual resources that are available to you. Obviously, we would love for you to come onto our campuses and see them in person, and it does sort of feel like the world is opening up again, so that might be a possibility. But if not, then yeah, take advantage of virtual resources. There are some really great taster sessions that you can participate in, or virtual open days. So yeah, there are a lot of virtual resources that universities can offer, which is not quite the same, but maybe a second best option.
Great tips and advice. All of it is super helpful, so thank you. We have time for one more, so we'll dive into another question here, which is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
say just how welcoming and fun it is. I think the Irish are known for their warm hospitality. So especially being an international student over there, I was just really blown away with how welcoming and friendly UCD was.
I'd say some of the cool events that we have on campus. So obviously it's coming towards Christmas time. We have like a winter wonderland on campus, which is really cool. They get like little wooden cabins in, rides and stuff like that. And it's really nice around Christmas time, and it's proper like English Christmassy. So we always look forward to that. But we have things throughout the year, and like Halloween's coming up. It's just really cool things happening on campus and just making it fun for you guys, really.
Yeah, I'd say, well, let's remember that we had the Avengers on campus. That's quite a cool thing to say. The Avengers headquarters at UEA, but I think just kind of following on from that, expanding on from that, that UEA is always something different going on, kind of similar to like what Tom just said there. There's lots of different events. We have lots of live music on our campus. We have a live music venue, and we have lots of famous people visiting. So yeah, I'd say just remember those things about UEA.
So one thing that I'd like you to sort of, if St Mary's was an Olympic country, it would have come 25th in the Rio Olympics as well. So we do, for a university of sort of 5,500 students, our alumni and current students managed to sort of get 25th on the medal table, is what we like to say. So if you've got any interest in sport, think about us.
If there's one thing I'd like to take away about Essex, it's probably just how international and welcoming our community is, and how sort of inclusive it is. It really is an amazing opportunity to meet people from all over the world. But I think what our students might say about sort of one of the things that's memorable about the University of Essex is the fact that we have our own campus cat that lives on campus. It has its own social media as well. It has its own Facebook and Instagram account, and it's very, very popular with students. So that's my second piece.
And we'll actually hit our last question here. So that's great. What's one myth you would like to debunk on the college admissions process? What is one myth you would like to debunk on the college admissions process?
Sorry. I'd say, at least for UCD, and I'm sure for kind of all the international universities, that probably a myth is that it's real hidden, and all the decisions are kind of made in back rooms, or it's not a transparent process. I mean, for us, and I think a lot of the Irish universities, all the entry requirements, all the admissions requirements are pretty transparent. They're all on the website, so students should actually know if they get an offer before they apply or not, as long as they meet the requirements. So it's a really accessible, really open, transparent process for sure.
Yeah, with us, like, there's lots of options out there, like entry requirements, like Patrick was saying about. So like I said, like we have the minimum 3.0 GPA with the different scores, but there are other options out there. Like if you don't meet those requirements, we do something called a foundation degree. So you can come and do an extra year, so that'll be a 4-year degree. But you don't need a 2.0 minimum for that GPA. So there are options out there if you don't quite meet your scores. So for instance, like COVID has been stopping exams like SAT exams and things like that. So there are options out there. Don't think just because you haven't met your entry requirements that you can't do that you can't go to that university. There might be different options, like you might have to do this extra year to get in, but you can still give it a go and still go where you want to go.
Yeah, I think just expand on what Tom said, that flexibility with it. I mean, there's always opportunities to reach out to, staff members like ourselves and staff members in the admissions team. So don't think that if you can't enroll, or you don't feel like you can enroll from the information you see online, that might not be the case. So in any instance like that, just to reach out to the representative who will be able to guide you through that process. So yeah, there's always options out there for you.
So I get a lot of people saying that it's too expensive to sort of study abroad in a different country, and that is definitely a myth. It can be very affordable for you, and if you do your budgeting, you do everything like that, you can often sort of find out that it's actually can be significantly cheaper, than studying sort of at an out-of-state university and some even in-state places as well. So yeah, it's definitely not too expensive to study abroad.
And the myth I would like to demyth I can't remember how the question structured now, but D-myth is that the more extracurriculars, the better. So when you're applying to universities in the UK, it's really based on your academic profile and your academic potential. So we'll be looking at the subjects that you've studied, tests you've already taken, and your predicted grades. So whilst we are interested in some of your extracurricular activities, it's definitely not the focus. The focus is your academic potential. So keep that in mind if you're applying to universities in the UK when you're writing your personal statement.
Awesome. And we have now reached the conclusion of this session. Thank you so much to our representatives. What a really great Q&A. So many tips and advice we all can walk away from. So keep that in mind as you're going through the college search process, as you are doing the college applications. Everyone's here as a resource, so feel free to reach out. And so again, thank you to our representatives, and thank you to each of you for joining us. As we close, will be a very quick 5-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback is greatly appreciated. This is one of many college presentations being offered today, so feel free to check the schedule on the website for more. And lastly, this session is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Middlesex. Again, thank you all and have a great night.